welcome to Books and Things. And isn't it nice? It's at the end of the winter. We're coming into spring next week. And I have Tony Lombardo tonight, PFC, U.S. Army. And he is the VFW Service Officer for Post 1265 and Judge Advocate. His job is to go around explaining benefits. So anybody who's a veteran out there, if he's not watching, grab a hold of him, tell him come and watch this, because this is going to be very educational. And apparently there's a lot of benefits out there that people don't know they're there.
Yeah, they're not aware of it at
welcome.
all. Hey, thank you,
Good
Tom.
to see you.
Giving us an opportunity to really touch these veterans that have sort of been left behind and didn't know what was really entitled to them. Yeah.
We hear so much about veterans today. VA this, VA that, Veterans Administration, about the care and the benefits, and people saying, well, they don't have any coverage. But you have obviously got a ton of it.
Yeah, and I can really give you a good outline of exactly what these veterans are really entitled to, and all they have to have is an honorable discharge and apply to the Veterans Administration, and they have complete free health care for the rest of their life.
Wow.
I mean, how can you beat that?
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to worry about it and get taken care of.
And it's pretty big with today's prices and what have you in medical care. I mean, it's like not reachable for a lot of people.
Now, do they have to go to a VA hospital to get these coverages?
Well, as of the past 5 years, that has kind of been broken up, depending on where the veteran lives. If he lives like further than 40 miles from a veteran facility, he'll be given a card, and he can go to the closest doctor or hospital to where he lives, which is really a big thing.
Yeah, well, we're about in the middle.
Yeah. And
it's 40 miles to Providence and 60 miles to Hartford.
And what they don't tell you is the clinics count as a hospital when they're really not a hospital.
Yeah.
So almost everybody in Connecticut is really under that 40-mile qualification.
Now, where's the nearest clinic?
Well, the nearest clinic is right now on our position. We're right here in Groton. Is in Shores Cove in New London, number 4.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Which is convenient for in New London County people very much.
Absolutely.
And we have like 339,000 veterans in the state of Connecticut, believe it or not.
Wow.
For such a little state.
Yeah.
You know. So most of these veterans don't know about their eligibility. A lot of them are in TRICARE. That's for people who made it a career to be in the service. So we have a lot of submariners in this area, and they're on TRICARE.
Yeah.
But for those that are not on TRICARE, they can go right into the VA system, which is distributed through number 4 Shores Cove in Connecticut, and then I have a sheet here which covers the rest of the state. You know, so pretty much the state of Connecticut has like 4 installations that can be reached.
Yeah.
You know, fairly easy. You know?
And then the next way, the other way is what, Providence?
You would have to go to Middletown, believe it or not. Yeah.
Really?
Middletown, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And the reason that pops up in my mind is because of the number of complaints that I have received over a period of time that I've been doing this, and that's like since 2001, July of 2001, I've been doing it.
Wow.
This volunteer service.
Yeah.
I receive no pay. I'm appointed by the post to serve our fellow veterans and to get them, you know, on the train, so to speak.
Well, it should be. And you guys did a lot for the country, and the country should take care of you.
Well, and we can't leave out the women's auxiliary in our post. They're very active.
Yeah,
And the men's auxiliary, of which you're a member.
absolutely.
And it seems to be growing a lot in terms of wars are never going to end. I'm sorry, Tom. I showed
Too
you a
bad.
sheep earlier, right?
Yes, I've got it right here.
Yeah. Anybody who would like to see this, just give me a call at home and I'll email it to them. But this sobers you up to the point, hey, we've been fighting wars since 1775 and right up until October 2001, and we're still at war.
Yeah, we haven't left there yet.
Exactly.
Matter of fact, Afghanistan isn't even here.
Yeah, right.
Now that's,
The military, they move kind of slow in that area,
I get upset in that we having people, and I probably shouldn't be saying this on the air, but people going out, getting killed, and a lot of times it's over money and countries and people that, and they just, like World War II, everybody's gung-ho on that. We were attacked. There was good, serious reason for being there. And then some of these other ones, you just kind of wonder why we're there.
Why, yeah, why?
It's just...
Because we don't insist on being informed. That's the problem.
Yeah,
And
it's just scary. I know, I wasn't in the military, but
we got to get after our representatives in the Congress and at home and in the state. Give you an example. We were just awarded a medal from the state of Connecticut for serving in the military. In other words, it was a thanks, sort of a thanks.
Yeah.
The last time that was done was, I believe, if I'm not right, excuse me, but it was like after the Civil War, I think.
Really?
Right.
Wow.
Well, I mean, how long does it take to thank a guy that put his life on the line so that you can have a cup of coffee in the morning in peace?
Yeah. He saved a lot of money by not passing them out for a couple of 100 years.
And well, it's 25 million. I hate to give out statistics, but people have to understand that we have 25 million veterans in this country.
Wow.
Okay? That's 10% of the population of the country.
Yeah.
So here you have 10%, making life sensible and secure for the other 90%. Think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, don't you owe something to these comrades, who are probably today, and I'm not a logistic guy, but we probably have the largest standing reserve army or military in the world.
Probably.
These are all already trained.
Yeah.
They've gone through the whole gamut,
And they're well trained.
And then we got certain politicians who want to take away our guns. It doesn't make any sense, Tom.
No, but you could join the army and they'll give you a gun.
They'll give you a gun. But it may be too late by then. But
Yeah.
here you have this 25 million veterans. Maybe half of them are mobile. They can get around.
Yeah.
But at least they can pull a trigger.
Yeah. Thought I'd shut that off. But I think there you go. I think we do a lot. The VFW does a lot, and we're very active down there.
Oh yeah. Since the men's auxiliary
Yeah.
and the women's auxiliary got together, boy, they've really put a real good program together.
Yeah.
I was happy to see that.
And even the Lions contributed. The Pawcatuck Lions contributed a new ramp and
Nice.
helped redo that.
And
small
having
room.
their functions there, that contributes to our hall.
Yeah.
We have a new hall.
That hall is beautiful.
Yeah.
And speaking of the Lions, I'll give them a little plug. April.
Sure.
The first Wednesday of April, they're going to start their spaghetti dinners again. And I like to plug people.
Well, they've been doing very well with that. They used to have it at the Italian Club over in Pawcatuck,
Yes,
if you
over on
remember.
Route 2.
They did it very well there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think they're a good organization, too. But anyway, you were in the Korean War, 1954.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
See, officially, the Korean War was over, I believe, at the end of 55 or 56. And when I graduated from boot camp or whatever you want to call it, training, it was amazing. Here I am, a land soldier, right?
Yeah.
From Fort Dix, they sent me to Texas. So I had to take a train to Chicago, and from Chicago to Fort Hood. So I ended up in Fort Hood. So I did training there, Fort Hood, and my area was ordnance. Anything that shoots, that was our bailiwick, so to speak. And military artillery, and of course Fort Hood is loaded with tanks. The armored divisions there are unbelievable. So after a while I said, well, this is like being overseas. I should be getting overseas pay out here. I used to go horseback riding on weekends. It went because there was nothing around.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But I enjoyed that. I enjoyed riding out into the sagebrush because being a cowboy was always kind of nice, when you were growing up.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
My son was in Fort Sill.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're military a lot in the area of artillery.
Yeah. Tanks.
I never got to Fort Sill. I was surprised.
Beautiful place.
Yeah.
I went down when he graduated and picked him up. And absolutely gorgeous. And
they have quite a few museums there, I think, on the artillery. Certain divisions, certain companies and regiments, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately we didn't get to tour him because we went down there, he graduated, we went out of there. So, how does a vet handle this? How does he get into this program? What do you got to do if he's...
Okay, yeah, that's the primary question. I'll tell you why. Most of the time, what goes through a veteran's mind are stories that are told to him by other veterans.
Oh, yeah.
Or by people who think they know what is available for veterans. In that case, I got it in one of these papers here that they're myths. So, look, if you were a good military man, you did your job, you got a clean-cut discharge, no problems, that was number one. The second was you had to have a what we would call history in terms of where you were from. You have to be able to prove that you were born in Groton or Connecticut or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's called a 1010 Easy form that you fill out.
Oh, okay.
And alongside that, you put your discharge, a copy of your discharge. You put those two together, right? After the 1010 Easy form tells the VA
Excuse me.
that the area that you're going to be applying for eligibility, that tells them all the information they need to determine whether you, as a veteran, will be eligible for this great entitlement,
Now, where does he get these forms? Does he go to the VA to...
Oh, they're so easy to find. You can go online, and all you have to do is just type in VA 1010 Easy form.
Okay.
Yeah. And it'll come up, and it'll make you understand what you need to put in there. And some of them you can load right there, and then just print it out and get it ready to send for your eligibility.
Oh, okay. So everything's pretty easy to do.
Yeah, but a lot of these young men today, that got out,
Yeah.
they kind of missed the boat because they were in a hurry to get out.
Yeah.
All that paperwork ended up in their home or their mother's home or where they were born, in a corner next to the bookcase.
Yep.
I'll get around to it sooner or later, but I got to find a job first. I mean, it makes sense, And they don't really ask them to attend those meetings, so a lot of the guys skip it.
Yeah.
If they had gone, they would have got this book.
And this is the...
This is your known
There it is.
benefits.
There it is. And this is a bit... I know, we got a bunch of them down at the VFW.
They can come in and get one for free. It's nothing that they have to pay for.
Yeah. And it's good to find out before you get sick. Because it's...
I'll give you a perfect example if you don't mind. I used to belong to this club, and it was single individuals, and they were painters and people who had different hobbies. We used to exchange information, and mostly singles. And one of them was a friend of mine. He was a retired school teacher and a veteran.
Yeah.
I won't give you his name because you'll never believe what his name was. But I guess when they retire in some of these school systems, they don't get their medical benefits. They have to buy that on their own because they're under a different system,
Yeah.
They're not really in Social Security. I don't know how that works, but it's kind of different in different
They
schools.
pay off into their own thing.
That's probably what it is.
Well, like the police department has their own thing, too.
Exactly.
So I get Social Security.
Well, this veteran always kind of started up gung-ho, in these meetings and things, and then he kind of like pulled back. And how did we know he was sick and he needed bypasses for his heart?
Yeah.
Well, little did he know. He knew he wasn't feeling good. That was the main thing. No energy, nothing interested him, pretty much. Anyway, he told me about it, and I said, you with a name like that, I said, you were in the Army. I said, don't you know about the veteran, the VA medical coverage that you get free? He said, oh, that's all news to me.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I got him set up, right? Because people out there have to understand the VFW is a separate organization from the Veterans Administration.
Yeah.
The VA, the Veterans Administration, is a federal bureaucracy.
Right.
The VFW is a private bureaucracy.
Right.
And it's a matter of membership. And it started after World War I, say. So they take care of their own. They lobby Congress, to get better benefits for the veterans. You have to do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, this young man that I was telling you about got sick right after he got into the system. And lo and behold, it turns out he went to West Haven, which is the nearest VA hospital.
Yeah.
See, the clinic is in Shores Cove.
Right.
And then there are other clinics in Wyndham and a few other places. Danbury, there's one clinic. And the first thing he did was, he came up behind me and he just grabbed me and he said, boy, he said, I'm really, really happy I ran into you in this club. I said, what? What are you talking about? He said, I had a 3-way bypass,
Wow.
A month ago. And look at me now. He had color in his cheeks and everything. He said it was a $40,000 operation.
Wow.
And he said, I didn't have the money for it.
No. Yeah. Who does?
40 grand.
Yes.
Well, pretty happy guy.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you know what you can do? And his first name was, oh, God, I might give it away. But I said, look, you do this. We'll say his name was Bill.
Yeah.
Bill, tell other veterans the story.
Yeah.
Get them to get into the system so that they can be ready to take advantage of this medical coverage that they've earned as patriots. You know, and you deserve it. You just didn't earn it by picking up a cup of coffee.
No.
I mean, you went through the system and you did your job.
And it's not only VA, it's schooling, it's all kinds of programs that are available and through the GI Bill.
And they're in that book.
That's all in there too?
That's all in there.
Wow.
And also, a lot of people came back injured.
Yeah.
It tells you how to make a claim to get a pension. I mean, it could be your hearing. If you were in the artillery, after a while, when you get older, you know, your hearing is gone. It's because of your artillery experience in the service.
Sure. Yeah.
And you can make a claim for that. That's a good 10% claim.
Yeah.
That isn't hay.
No, and it's available, and it's there for a purpose. And you just got to go out there and make sure you get it.
Exactly. And then we had the guys who were in Vietnam. You know, when they spread that Agent Orange for years, the VFW and the American Legion pounded on a table in Congress and said, look, this stuff was poison. And our guys and our gals all got, you know, showered with it. Or they were walking through the jungle, or they were walking on wherever the enemy was, you know. Yeah. The enemy got it, and we got it. Yeah. Well, after maybe 4 or 5 years, something like that, they finally said, okay, if you come in with all of these diseases, you're automatically on a pension. Automatically.
And then you get...
Case closed.
You get PTSD now.
And that's another big one.
Yeah, that's popping up everywhere.
So it took them a while to figure out what was going on, you know. And I know I have a neighbor that is a great hero from World War II. I call him my hero because I knew him since I was a little guy. Yeah. And he was in the Air Force. And he was a waist gunner on a B-24. Well, they got shot down over Germany. And he bailed out at, what is it, like maybe 20,000 feet, whatever. And he also wrote a book about it. I couldn't believe how many medals and citations and presidential unit citations he had on his discharge.
No kidding. Because
when you get that discharge, see, everything is on there.
Yeah.
Every single medal. And I mean, he had 2 Bronze Stars. He had air medals. I think it was like 9 or 10 of them. But talk about bureaucracies going to hell. I said, Bob, have you gotten your medals yet? Well, he says, my nephew, my grandson bought some in the Army-Navy store because they were all written down on the discharge, exactly what they were, and all they did was put in an order. Well, the difference on that is you got a medal just like that Irish Day medal you have on. Now, on the back, your name should be there in full, Tom Santos. But the ones that you buy in the Army-Navy store say a blank.
Yeah, yeah. Kids say that.
Exactly. I explained to him. He said, I didn't know that. So he had three Purple Hearts. Okay.
Wow.
What can I tell you? I said, let me write to the War Department, Department of Defense. I said, it's Form 180, right? And in that form, I requested for him as his, well, he's 90 now, and I requested all of his medals be sent to him. Yeah. Well, about a month goes by, and he said, Anthony, he says, come over here. He says, you got to see this letter I got. I looked at the letter from the Department of Defense, and it isn't much as said, Sorry, we're out of medals.
Oh, jeez.
I said, give me a break. Give me a break. So I said, this is the kind of stuff. Now, you see, it's the kind of stuff that you get into.
Yeah.
It's not just holding someone's hand because they're having a hard time.
Yeah.
It's just about anything you can think of.
God.
So I said, Bob, this is not going to happen. Oh, we got a break?
Yeah, we got a couple of minutes left.
Okay.
And I just wanted to point out that you also do the Pawcatuck and Wesley Veterans sponsor 2 parades a year.
That's right.
And
Memorial Day and Veterans Day.
And Veterans Day.
Right.
Now, any questions or anything you want to know, it's up on the screen. And just give Tony a call or send him an email. And he'll be happy to talk to you.
Absolutely. That's my job.
He'll
That's
even
my
meet you down at the VFW and discuss everything. Stop in down there and pick up a book. There's a couple of books down there
Perfect.
that they can use. And get your benefits. Get what you got coming. Because you certainly have it coming and you've done it.
And don't let anybody tell you you're not entitled to it.
That's right. And don't let them do like they do with welfare. Oh, you don't deserve it. I hate that. There are reasons people get things. So stop in and get what you need to do.
Well, Tom, thank you for your opportunity to
It's my
represent
pleasure.
the VFW in your hobby, your
Well, you
mission.
would ask me about being on this, absolutely, because that's what I do is give education. And something like this is very important.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And next week, well, speaking of VFW, I have to put a plug in for them because of the fish fry every Friday night.
Oh, yeah.
Until we got two more weeks, tomorrow and the next week.
Right. And tonight there's chowder and
Chowder.
fritters. That's where I'm going.
Chowder, you
Tonight?
get free chowder, 2 fritters, with a purchase of a beverage.
Libation.
Libation, yeah. I buy my ginger ale. And boy, they
At
did it
the
good.
canteen. We call
At
it the canteen. Yeah.
And then fish and chips tomorrow night. And that's to help the
That
post.
is excellent. That is excellent.
Yes, and we got like 300 people last week. That's a lot of
Well,
dinners.
yeah, that's a lot of fish.
They also have lunch on Fridays and Sundays. And for past TV shows of books and things, you can go to sec-tv.org and look for the button that says YouTube, and you can watch any of the other shows. On March 28th, I'll have Loved Ones Lost at the Groton Regency, and that starts at 6:30, and there's the brochure we have out. And it's got to be a good program. It's for people who have lost people, and they can come down and learn how other people live.
Can I mention something
Sure.
that I know you know about it?
Yeah.
We also place flags
Oh, that's
on the graves
Yeah.
of our comrades at St. Michael's and the cemetery behind St. Michael's.
Yeah.
And Troop 9 of St. Michael's Church does that.
Wow.
We provide the flags, and they
Yeah.
do that twice a year. Isn't that great?
That's
That is
fantastic.
fantastic.
They do the same thing up in Legend because my son gets one. I go up there on Memorial Day, and there it is. And
And don't be afraid to call Tom and ask him for a flag, because that happens.
that's right. We got those.
I
too.
have them too. I
Winter's
keep-
almost over. We got another week to go, and we just changed the clocks. And you still could cuddle up with a good book. You should be reading. See you next week. Have a wonderful time. And thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, Tom, for the
Yeah.
opportunity.
Hope everybody watches.